Oke, baik. Selamat datang parents dan Ryan di acara kelulusannya Ryan untuk kursus Python Pro 2 ya. Nah, di sini nanti kita akan memperhatikan proyek akhir yang akan dipresentasiin Ryan dan kita akan dengar penjelasan terkait proyek tersebut. Dan ingat ya, jangan terlalu teknis ya, sebab ya orang lain tidak akan mengerti kalau nggak ada background pemrogramer. Oke? Sebelum itu, saya ingin menyampaikan beberapa hal terkait, nah, presentasi atau, sorry, graduationnya ya. Jadi yang pertama, saya ingin mengucapkan mungkin congratulations ya. Dan sebelum ini saya ingin mengucapkan maaf sekali ya. Jadi yang kemarin tuh saya tidak bisa karena pengajuan jadwal itu yang ada begitu banyak jadwal yang bentrok ya. Jadi di
Ya,
pengajuannya itu atasan saya nyuruh saya ini kelasnya dilepas dulu, tag yang lain dulu. Sebab ada banyak sekali. Itu karena reschedule hari raya juga. Nah, habis itu hari Sabtunya saya apa namanya itu hak siswa dan tutor untuk libur sebenarnya. Jadi kita tidak bisa memakainya. Tapi ada satu siswa yang maksa banget, tapi jadwalnya pagi banget. Itu jam 7 ya. Jadi nggak apa-apa kalau jam 7 gitu. Karena ya hanya 1 jam juga gitu ya. Nah, kemudian di siangnya itu kita sudah tidak bisa sebab itu kosong udah itu. Laporan sudah harus kosong di hari Sabtu dan Minggu gitu. Nah, kemudian setelahnya itu ya saya disuruh ngetek kelas lain di jadwal tersebut yang bukan jadwal tetap sebenarnya tapi jadwal kelas pengganti-pengganti yang banyak banget setelah reschedule hari raya gitu ya. Jadi ya, saya tidak bisa mentek kelas ini kemarin. Sampai kemarin disuruh ini diinformasikan dulu sama tim Algo buat bagaimana dengan kelas ini, kemudian saya minta persetujuan atasan gitu. Gitu ya dari
ya,
parents. Nah, kemudian saya ingin mengucapkan selamat kepada Ryan karena Python Pro 2 itu bisa dibilang lebih susah ya dibandingkan front end ataupun web development. Nah, saya sangat mungkin sedikit ya menyesal karena tidak bisa menemani dari awal, terutama di bagian data analis. Di situ sebenarnya banyak banget proyek yang dapat dikerjakan. Nah, tetapi saya setengahnya di situ gitu. Jadi kita nggak bisa berbicara tentang time series juga. Nah, untuk siswa yang lain yang sedari awal ditemani oleh saya itu saya ajukan mereka mengambil proyek-proyek kayak di Kaggle ataupun proyek-proyek yang machine learning yang lainnya. Nah, kemudian presentasinya itu nggak hanya sekali gitu yang sebenarnya. Nah, itu anjuran saya sebenarnya kalau dari awal. Nah, itu sedikit apa ya yang saya menyesal lah gitu. Tidak ambil kelas ini dari awal. Begitu ya. Oke, tapi apa namanya? Sejauh ini sama aja sih ya. Maksud saya dari sisi skor apa yang mereka sampaikan dan Ryan kemarin sudah berikan latihannya juga sama gitu. Oke, jadi mungkin itu saja yang dapat saya sampaikan ya terkait opening dari presentasi proyeknya. Dan hari ini Ryan akan presentasi sekali lagi jangan terlalu teknis presentasinya dan kalau bisa gunakan bahasa yang membuat kita mudah untuk memahaminya ya, terutama anggaplah kita di sini tidak paham coding sama sekali gitu, termasuk kakak, termasuk parents gitu ya. Jadi
oke,
seperti itu. Dan kalau terkait bahasa nanti Ian boleh pakai apa namanya? Bahasa Inggris ataupun bahasa Indonesia ataupun mau dicampur juga boleh. Lebih
oke,
prefer yang mana? Prefernya yang mana silahkan. Oke, kalau gitu time is yours Ian. Silakan.
oke. Uh, so, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here and attending my graduation. Um, Today, I'm really excited to talk about one of my most proud projects, which is the model for breast cancer prediction. Now, first, we must know what is breast cancer. Breast cancer is a disease that starts in the cell of the breast. Uh, Normally, it causes our body to grow and divide in uncontrolled way because these cancer cells um,
Mhm.
are sort of rampant and they will go out of control or form lumps or even a tumor, which is one of the symptoms of cancer. This type of cancer happens most in women because there are more cells in their breast
Mhm.
compared to men. So that is another factor why it's also important. Now, there is some examples of breast cancer being one of the most common types of cancers. There are an estimated of 2.3 million cases of female breast cancer, and around a third of them are breast cancer related deaths. Now, if these trends continue, um, the it might rise, and it's another factor of why I chose breast cancer to analyze for this project.
Okay.
And for the data used for the analysis, I used a sample set of data from Kaggle.com, which is a website with a trusted data source.
Mhm.
This website is commonly used by machine learning practitioners to create models of AS for a lot of different kinds. And this is the example of the data. It may not mean a lot, but for now, all we need to know all we need to know are the variables, which I will show in the next I'll show in the next slide. As you can see here, I used a heat map to better visualize the different variables and their correlations towards one another. As you can see here, the lighter the squares are, like in the middle, they have higher correlation towards one another. Meanwhile, the darker they are, they have less correlation towards one another. And here it's way easier to see which types of data we will be needing to use in our analysis so that we can get a model which can predict um, the which can predict um, the result of the diagnosis. For example, the next slide is we can see here that there are two types of diagnoses. It's malignant and benign. Malignant are is the uh, variable used for patients who are diagnosed to have uh, they're positively diagnosed with breast cancer. Meanwhile, benign are patients who are negatively diagnosed with breast cancer. So these are basically people who have breast cancer in the data, and these are the people who don't have breast cancer. And uh, I use this graph to see the disparity between the two variables. Like you can see here, it may seem really high. Like there are twice as much benign patients than there are malignant. However, in machine learning, this amount of disparity is considered to be balanced, which is why I chose this data source as a base for my analysis. And then the modeling process is pretty simple. The first step is to filter the data. Always filter the data when you're in any machine learning project. You always need to filter the data so there isn't any excess data or useless data that we're not using. And then you split the data into training and test data, which I will show here. As you can see here, um, in these few lines, I split the data into training and testing data, and I set the uh, test size as well. So
Mhm.
for the model, so basically how it works is um,
Mhm.
there's training data and test data. Training data is data used for like if we were students in school, this would normally be like daily assignments or weekly exams. Meanwhile, the test data is like the final exam where we test how much the AI has learned after the amount of tests we've given it. So we can see here that the result of the modeling process is considered to be really accurate because um, compared if here we can see that uh, what this how the what this means is that when you read it um, out of 100 of the data uh, out of 104,
Mhm.
100 of them were false, and the four of them were correct. So this is the actual data, and this is the test data.
I see.
So this is the AI's prediction,
I
and
see.
this is the actual data that from this is the actual result. And out of 106, 170, 180-ish results, you can see that 163 are actually correct. And
Mhm.
that counts as a really high percentage, which it means that this model is very accurate and really successful. As you can
Oh,
see here, this is why this project is one of my most proud and successful ones. And yes, this is why I chose this project as the one to present today. And that should be all. I think thank you very much for listening and feel free to ask any questions.
okay. Thank you so much, Ryan. Now,
Oh,
uh-huh,
I also forgot.
uh-huh.
I also made
Yeah,
what's it called?
that's it.
This a resume. The
Yeah,
things
your
that I
your
made.
own website, right?
Yeah, my own website here.
Okay,
I can
that's
send
it.
the link if you want to see.
Okay.
Yes.
Ya, boleh send linknya, Yan?
Oh yeah.
Oke, oke,
All
oke.
right.
Dan,
Then yeah. Are there any questions?
oke.
Ya,
Terima kasih, Yan. Nah, sekarang dari parents dulu ya. Mungkin parents ada pertanyaan. Silakan,
ya,
Bapak. Ya, silakan, Bapak.
oke. Sebenarnya saya ada pertanyaan sih sedikit, sedikit
Iya,
tentang mungkin saya tadi nggak perhatiin di depannya ya. Mungkin konsepnya sebenarnya tadi saya dengar tapi agak sepotong-sepotong sih mungkin karena saya kurang jelas ininya ya. Maksudnya
iya,
eh,
iya.
voice-nya itu agak kurang ini di
Oh
sini.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
jadi ada ini. Jadi
Noise-nya gitu ya.
kalau noise saya ya ada noise terus kemudian hmm, ininya enggak mungkin telinga saya juga agak kurang ini kali.
Oke.
Terus saya mau penjelasan
Mhm.
tentang konsepnya tadi itu saya nangkepnya sih nggak full. Macam saya dengar ada di depan itu tadi ada modelkan untuk yang breast cancer ya. Coba ya,
Oke.
representasi yang pertama tadi boleh dibuka kan?
Slide
Representasi
pertama
yang
ya.
pertama tadi prostate. What is breast
The very
cancer?
first one? Oh, this.
Yeah, 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 that
Oke.
one. The second one, what is breast cancer? Yeah, I think this is the general one. What is
Mhm.
so important? Can you? So, what is the objective of the
Uh,
your yeah your program or your uh uh what do you call this one? Is this program or what? Or
Model. It's an
model?
AI. It's a
Yeah. Okay.
yeah machine learning model. Yeah.
Okay. So you mean uh the idea is actually what you develop in here actually?
Uh, so this is used as a prediction, a model to predict from the data given to predict if a patient has or does not have breast cancer,
Okay.
whether
So
they are
so
diagnosed with malignant or benign, which is yeah.
so what you develop is like some
Artificial
uh
intelligence. We,
artificial intelligence. I
yeah,
see. Okay.
we
So
can say like that.
all right. Okay. So you develop the artificial intelligence
Mhm.
to identify whether the patient is having breast cancer or it is not based on the
Yes.
data. Okay. So and the data that you use is uh what kind of data that you sort or you try to analyze? What is
Oh
the
ya.
input data?
So I don't when I first chose this data example here. Uh, well, in any machine learning process, you don't really need to know what every single data means because
Okay.
you can because eventually we're gonna filter them out to find out which ones actually correlate. For
Okay.
example, you can
Hmm.
see here.
Uh,
Wait,
Yeah.
um,
What
like
is
but
this?
uh-huh.
this is heat map, which I can explain each one of these variables, but it'll take a while. But
Hmm.
basically, what they mean, it's like here's the radius of the rest, the texture, perimeter,
Oh,
but like
okay.
for each one of them, like they have different correlations towards the bottom one here, which is um the diagnosis here.
I
Like
see.
this,
I see. Understood.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. So like let me conclude it from my understanding.
Okay.
So basically, in machine learning, you will have like for example, data is like one data. It has attributes. It has a
yes.
variable. Everything. So it doesn't matter what kind of variable, what kind of attribute. In machine learning, they will do analyze based on the similarity or maybe the
How much it
same
Yeah.
correlates towards the end
correlated.
result.
Okay.
Yes,
So I
because
want to that kind of process actually what the machine learning doing actually.
okay,
Oh.
so here we separate them into columns and to better these are the IDs. On the left number right here is the IDs of each of these data. This is a randomly sampled here. If I replay it, it will give me a random sample. Hold on, give me a sec.
You
It'll
you
give me
have
a
to
random
run it
sample.
from the beginning,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, yeah.
But
Hold
it's
on.
okay, it's okay. I mean,
But
you
like,
do not need that. Yeah,
yeah,
the sample will like look like that. This, yeah. I mean,
yeah. One of the
So the
samples will look like this.
yeah.
Yes.
okay the
Okay.
data mean okay so that sample means this is the raw data that you do you express
Yeah,
or it is a final it's like
n-
a
no,
it's actually
that's about the overview of the data that we
This is the
want to
overview of the data.
analyze.
Yeah. This is what we want to
okay
analyze,
Yeah,
and eventually we will um, filter which of the variables have the highest correlation,
yeah, that's
and
exactly.
okay
then you
uh,
use those data to predict. We input that data into the
Mm-hmm.
model, which the
Yeah,
model trains based on the results
yeah,
that we
mm,
exactly.
already have
Mm-hmm.
to give a prediction of how well it can predict based on only the
Mm-hmm.
select data that we give
That's
that we give
okay
to
exactly.
it.
so the model means the AI that you develop it
Yes,
right
yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So now I can become some sort of understanding about this process, like the framework of this process, how you develop. So you have data, you have some AI. It can filter, sort, or it can do the data manipulation, something like that. And then you
Yeah.
come, what is the result that you, for
This
example,
this is the result.
true or
Yeah,
false.
so the left bar is the data, is the result based on the data already given, like from the Kaggle website. And the left side, I mean the right side is the predictions, which
I see.
as you can see
Uh,
here, it's a long list, but this website tends to make it shorter so that you can see the entire thing, like the header and the footer of the results. As you can see here, the predictions of my model are 90. Okay, the predictions of my
95.
model are 95% accurate
Or
towards the
or
actual data.
in short, we can say that how accurate my model is. It's about 96%, parent. From
96% accurate.
yeah, from
Yes,
100. That's
from 100.
Okay.
Yes,
So the AI prediction, you mean that your AI prediction that you develop, it has 96% accurate
yeah, that's
if we
yes,
assess
exactly
it.
and
right.
that's
Some
considered really high in machine learning.
yeah.
Okay.
But
All right. So
this is just the
mm,
small case, parent. I
Yeah, this
mean,
is only a
yeah.
small case. It's a
we
simple model. It's nothing. It's pretty simple, but it's a
okay.
first step into machine
yeah,
learning, which
yeah,
So
exactly.
okay.
is yeah.
So it's interesting things. It's very interesting because you you use the model or AI
Mm-hmm.
for data analysis, right? This is the
Mm-hmm.
type of
Yes.
okay. So it's good though. So is there any limitation on the AI or
Mm,
and
I would say this is a pretty limited. It's based on how much data we use. I would say this is a pretty limited data source because it's only a small case. Like it's not a massive case. And since this is only using an import of a model that already exists in from a module, I use sklearn modules. Sklearn's module
Mm-hmm.
here, model
And
selection modules.
the model name
okay.
is nearest neighbor. As you, yeah, you can show it, Yan. Ah, that's the model's name.
Okay, so enable classifier. That's the AI model that you use, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Okay,
name
so
of it.
you use this one. This is already available there, already
Y-
been developed, and you utilize as a function for this.
y-
Or
yes, we use it as a function, but the important part is how we can set the parameters or the
Yeah,
argument.
how is that? How the model uh
Yeah, because
interprets the data.
it's outside of programmer. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's behind this model. It consists of many mathematical
yeah, yeah.
formulation.
Okay, so basically, if it is a function, you just need so variable input and output only,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
Hmm.
can you
Yeah.
explain what is that?
Oh, which one? But
The
Yeah.
the the, the function that you use is AI. AI
oh,
they need input and all that will
Yeah, this
create
is
some.
we
y-
make the trait. This is the variables used
maybe
the x.
you have to just like assumption, make an assumption for that. Yeah, I mean like the students blah blah blah, just like you said earlier.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the way that the model works is that uh you're giving it a training
Mm-hmm.
you're giving a training variable
Mm-hmm.
and a test variable.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I've split it into x and y is because the the x variable is used uh for the diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
the true data.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the y axis is for all the other variables here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that this I only grabbed the first axis, which is diagnosis M, and the other one is all the other variables that I've already filtered. And the way it works is that it takes the AI trains with the data given, and
Hmm?
then after some training based on the test size here, this is the test size. It ranges from 0 to 1, but here I put it only to 0.3 because the
Hmm.
bigger it is, the more it should be more accurate, but it takes longer for it to test. It's basically
Exactly.
studying from
Yeah.
That's
the data given, and then
okay.
uh, after it's done learning,
Mm-hmm.
we the results of the training data we correlate it to the test data. So
Hmm.
how well they did when they were learning, and how the end result, like the final exam here. And there's two of them for the x variable and the y variable, which is why here there should be a graph. Like, yeah, here, this is the correlation of the test. Basically training is the predicted label, and the
Mm-hmm.
test is the true label.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So you can
training
see
is
that from all the from 100 and let's say 110 112 here, 112 of the predicted 112 of them that are predicted are false, and false
so.
is
So can you
108.
scroll down a bit so I can see the yes? Okay, stop. Yeah. So this is predicted label. Then this
Mm-hmm.
is the
True
true
level.
label.
Yes.
Okay,
We
so
call it
means
as a confusion matrix in
Yeah, confusion
programming.
matrix display here.
coefficient matrix.
Hmm.
So the true label means the actual data
Exactly.
and predict.
Yeah,
Okay, so predicted liability. So the this is for same variable means whether this is actually we populate the result, right? Like this prediction whether this patient has cancer or not,
Yeah, yeah.
and this is the
So
answer.
yes, this is the no, it's not the answer, but the prediction.
Yeah, the prediction. I mean the prediction.
Yeah.
So this
Yes,
is like the result for that AI
of
to
how well it
predict
can.
the.
Yeah, yes, how well it can
Okay,
predict.
okay. So in okay, the data actually you have 111,
No,
right?
the reason why the test
The true
result is smaller is because it only takes it's based on the amount of data used. I mean, we put it's based on the test size. Sorry, test size.
oh,
It's just this is like I'm pretty sure this is a third of the data used.
all right.
So
Can we know the actual? For example, I want to know. You use the actual data and you
Oh, the
use some
entire
sample
data. Yeah.
data. How many
yeah,
data for actual? How
Uh,
many data sample like that?
the
You
actual how many data there are? Hold on. There are wait.
you can use learn data or learn DF.
Yeah, it's somewhere here. Wait, what is okay, I'll just put it somewhere here. Like uh Len this
DF.
is
You
called
call it as
yeah.
DF. Mm-hmm. And if you enter under,
Yeah, it's
it's
that
about
much. 569.
So
569.
569, the actual
Mm-hmm.
data.
Yep.
Yes.
The okay, uh, and how many data that you assess? This is actually the
171. This is how
one
many?
171.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So the AI predict 171.
Yeah, out
How
of
Yep.
many
171.
accuracy is 96%? It means
Yeah, so
how many is
96% of 171, which is this
how
much.
much?
Wait,
Oh,
And
117 and 90, yeah,
oh,
96% for 171. How much?
na-
How many
na-
data correct?
around
uh,
160-ish. Yeah. Like
So
here,
like
okay. This is seven of them. Seven out of the 171 are false. So that's 160,
oh okay.
166 of them. You know,
Okay. So
164.
164.
Yeah,
Uh is it can be shown in this metric? Can you scroll down?
this is the matrix. Yeah, like this is
Oh, seven
the
is wrong, eh? Seven is not correct. Like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
seven of the predicted ones are incorrect.
I see. Okay.
And maybe you're wondering why we have to split the data. That's maybe
Hmm.
the important question. Because if
Yeah.
we do not split our data into train and test, we will wonder that how we can evaluate the model. I
Yes,
mean,
is
how accurate our model.
that's
So we
why
have
Yeah,
like
to,
yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I think yes, I can understand that one because normally when you use software, anything of any software or any application, you should have a benchmarking. So
yeah,
means
exactly.
yes.
you have to what you call this, some like yeah, what would you call it? The uh apa ya? It's like you do the testing of that
Oh yeah,
system.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a trial basically.
So
A trial on
Oh,
the accuracy.
yeah, I know that one to process. So, for example, you set up some parameter for that system, and
yeah,
then you have
Yeah,
to know the
already.
actual condition, right? You have to
that
know the
Yes.
actual.
exactly.
Which is the parameter is the training and then the actual thing is
Hmm.
the test data. That's why we split it.
Yeah. Alright. So
Wow.
basically here, okay. So you use one. Why? May I know why you use that? You know, can you explain
Because
about
this one
what
is
are you
used for this one is used to
Classification.
classify, yeah,
classification?
to
Is it
classify
like
from.
So like common one, like common use like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
uh, we have another model, but I think this is the best model that Ryan uh
Yeah.
Or
This is the best
maybe
one.
maybe
We already
you
tried with a different model.
okay, maybe you try with the different model and you do benchmarking or and then finally you conclude this
Yeah, we
model is
compared the
suitable.
two. This one is the best one.
exactly. That's what Ryan.
Okay. So that's why there's some background behind why you choose this model for
Yes.
this kind of data or this kind of objective. So
Jadi data yang ikutin sistemnya atau sistemnya ikutin datanya?
sistemnya ikutin datanya. Datanya dia di benchmark juga di apa namanya? Setelah itu di ya. Okay, okay, good. I think I get some good knowledge today about the AI tools, how we can use for the data analysis. It's great. Yeah, it's very
Okay,
impressive. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
okay.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, parents.
Uh,
Wow,
yeah.
I do not
Oh,
expect that questions. Wow, Yan, and thank you so much, Yan. You're
Yeah.
so nice.
thank you
Wow.
juga, Kak.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all about our graduation today. And Yan, the next meet is we will learn about front end. Okay,
All
and
right.
it's like we you have you will create your own website, but it's deeper from earlier. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Right.
problem.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Congratulations, Ryan. Good luck. Good for your
Thank
hard
you.
Wow.
work. Keep it up.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bang. Thank you, Dad.
Semangat,
Congratulations, Yan.
semangat.
Semangat ya.
Okay.
Bye.